Welcome to Duke's Handbook. Let's get into it. Family member, male 25, is dating a minor, female 17. Already, I'm upset. So I, male 30, just found out about it and really don't know how to approach this subject with them. It's clearly wrong, and I can't just pretend it's not happening. He's younger than me, and I feel I should say something, even if we're not that close. I heard from other people that it's better if I don't approach it like a problem, but I'm not sure how to even start talking about this with him. Any tips, please? I mean, first of all, this is just wrong, right? He's 25, she's 17. And what makes it difficult is it's somebody that you know personally, whether you're close or not. It doesn't look good for anybody. Um, and knowing about it and not saying anything to him about it at the very least doesn't make you look good either. You know, at it's tough because you're not close to this individual. Like if you're close to somebody and they're 25 and dating a 17-year-old, you saying like, "Hey man, it's probably not a good idea. You shouldn't be doing that," is to be expected. But then again, you're not that close with this person. You probably don't talk to them on a regular basis. Bringing it up, saying, "Hey, I heard you were dating a 17-year-old." It doesn't it's like you saying it to this person that you don't really talk to. It doesn't hold as much weight as if you're close to the individual. Like if I were to say to one of my boys that I've known for 15 years, which by the way, none of them are dating minors. They've all been married and have kids. But let's just say hypothetically, one of them's dating a minor. And I'd be like, bro, you're trying to go to prison. Like at that point, I mean, like, it's not a good idea. Don't do that. But if it was somebody I didn't really know, like let's say maybe somebody I went to high school with that I don't really talk to anymore. We know each other, but we don't know each other anymore, and found out that this was going on, then I'd probably just stay out of it. Um, let's read this comment. There's only one comment on this one, and this is a post that was done 2 hours ago. The one comment says, "I'm torn. Depending on your relationship with that family member, you might counsel them about having an intimate relationship with the minor can cause significant problems if the minor's parents object. If that family member can refrain from having sexual relations with the minor and wait until that person turns 18, then I don't see any problem with it," which I still see a problem with it regardless. 25, 17. I had this conversation today actually with my coworker. Even if you're 25, 26, 27 and you're dating like an 18, 19-year-old, you have nothing in common with them. People that are my age, I'm 36, that are out there dating 18, 19, 20-year-olds, you have nothing in common with these people. You can't talk about music and have that in common because their music is different than our music. Their movie references are different than our movie references. And it's just, what do you do with somebody that's underage when you're over the age of 21? What do you even do with them? Go to the mall? Take them to the movies? Like, you can't go on dates to a bar or to a club or anything like that. And it's just, why would you put yourself into that predicament in the first place, even at 18, 19, 20 years old? I can see it a little bit more with somebody that's like 21 and up when you're 25 to 30 to 35 years old. I can see it 21 and up fine. You're still not going to have anything in common with that individual, but not anything, but a lot less than somebody that's of the about same age, right? So for me, as far as like dating is concerned, it's like 25 is about my cutoff, and even then it's kind of iffy. Because it's like I've gone through so much in my life, and then this person who hasn't really gone through anything, it's just such a big, huge difference in the thing here. Now, 25 to 17, it's not that much of a difference. And I guess it kind of depends on this person's maturity level too. But either way, 25, dude, you're legal to drink, you're legal to, rent a car, all this other stuff. And then some chick that's in high school, you know what I mean? Like, ew, that you can't do anything with her other than hang out at the house. So it just doesn't, it's not a good look. It's not a good look for reasons of her being a minor, for one, but also for two, it just, to me, it looks desperate. Like, you're 25. Can you not find a chick your age that you've got to go for high school age? I might be a little bit meaner about it just because I have certain feelings about people dating people that are underage and even doing anything with anybody underage. I have my own belief system on that. And it is 18 or above, period. And then even then, my age, 18, is just go away. You're really annoying, you know? So I don't know. To each their own. But I would say, not being that close to this person, you really kind of got to tread lightly and just be like, hey man, just so you know, like, I understand, like, you guys might be waiting until she's 18 and this is cute and you guys love each other, whatever, but like, it can cause problems, if you have a bad breakup and then she goes and says, oh well, he did this and that and this and that, like, it's just a problem. So at all at all cases, you need to just avoid it, first of all. um but yeah, 25 and 17, I don't know, it's just such a desperate look to me, and I don't like it. Anybody that was, if I were talking to somebody and they came up to me and they were like, "Oh yeah, my girlfriend's 17," I'd be like, "Get away from me, dude." No. Okay. Let's see. I found out I'm making 15,000 more than the person training me. Do I tell them? No. Off rip. Just no. I just started a new role, and through a casual conversation about market rates, I realized my coworker, who has been there 3 years, is making significantly less than my starting salary. They are currently training me and are incredibly helpful. I feel guilty every time they help me. Should I encourage them to ask for a raise, or is sharing salary info too risky for a new employee? Too risky for a new employee. Legally, no company can tell you that you're not allowed to talk about your wage, and they can't fire you for talking about your wage with other coworkers, legally speaking. But it does not look good on you. It will cause friction in the workplace, because then that person is going to be like, why are you asking me? You make $15,000 more per year than I do. You should already know this. Granted, that person needs to go talk about getting a raise themselves, but if they're cool making whatever they're making, then it's none of your business. But you also shouldn't tell them that you make $15,000 a year more than they do, because that will create some sort of tension and resentment in your friendship with that person at work. So just keep that under wraps. Typically that's why employers don't want you to discuss wages with other people. I came into a job making $3 or $4 more per hour than the guy training me that had been there for like 5 years, and he like actually got really pissed off about it. We worked through it, him and I was like, look man, that's just what I came in at. I don't know what to tell you. So I told him, I was like, well, why don't you go ask for a raise? Granted, He wasn't really in the position to be asking for a raise, but nonetheless, he could have. And I'm sure he probably would have gotten it, but that's beside the point. It does create friction sometimes. So just be careful about that. Don't, you shut your mouth. That's what you do. Let's see. Little sister started her first cycle today. I have no idea what I'm doing. Okay. So for context, I'm 19 years old, turning 20 next month, and I'm thinking I'm taking care of my younger sister alongside my fiance. My sister is 13. Both me and my fiance are men and have never once experienced a period, and I have absolutely no idea how to approach this, as men don't. I can't call our mother for help, since when she lost custody of my little sister, she made it clear she wanted absolutely no contact with me, and I don't want contact with her either for my sister's sake. And our grandmother, my sister's legal guardian, is currently asleep since she goes to bed at 6 p.m. and it's almost 11:30 in Alabama currently. 9:20-ish over here at the time of typing. So they're West Coast. Please send advice. What do I need to tell her? What do I need to get her? How the hell do I even begin to approach this? She doesn't seem as panicked as I am, but I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Hey, big brother, been there. Update, my fiance is at the store and my sister's on the phone call right now with him so she can choose what she feels she needs. I'm hopping off to stay by her instead of being on my phone since I think I got the answers I needed. Thank you all so much. See, I love seeing the community come together like that. Update number 2, my fiance is on the way home after picking up the stuff she requested and some of the things I was told here that we would need. I've made her some hot chocolate and she's settling on the couch with a weighted blanket to watch a TV show and wind down until my fiance gets home. We're going to call our grandmother in the morning for whatever else we need to talk about. Her schooling is also self-paced online. So I'm not going to pressure her this week about her doing homework, just so we can focus on getting her comfortable. I will, however, call her counselor sometime tomorrow to ask if they have a sex ed course. Thank you all and good night. I love that. I love that the community came together. Like, let's see how well the community came together here. Make sure to comfort her and let her know it's totally normal. I would suggest getting her some stuff for a period blanket, pads, tampons, some Midol, a heating pad, and some chocolate. Ask her if she has any questions on what to do and answer accordingly. She may not need tampon use explained, as I found it pretty self-explanatory at that age. Yes. I just want to get her period underwear or period shorts to wear at night. Game changer. They weren't really a thing when I was a kid, and I bled through to my sheets so many times at night when you were laying down. The blood can kind of, okay, we're not gonna. Anyway, so the community came together and helped them out. I love seeing that. That's amazing. I remember when my little sister went through that, she just started, and she was super shy and embarrassed about it. And it was about the same age, 13, 14 years old. And I was dating this chick at the time. And then obviously, you know, we were staying at my mom's, and she was so shy and embarrassed about the whole thing, you know, because big brother's around and everything like that. And she's got a bunch of questions. And so what I did was I just kind of like made her laugh. I took a couple of tampons, like put one in my nose, and then I did the rocket with one of them, which is basically you take the string of the tampon and put it in a little straw, and then you go bam, and you launch the cotton clear across the room. It's funny. It lightens the mood a little bit. So, you know, and then she became comfortable with it, and my girlfriend at the time took her in and showed her how to, you know, use them and all that stuff. So little bit more of a comforting, house situation that kind of lighten. I'm a dork, so I like to lighten the mood a little bit. And then she had other women there to help her out with that. But it's good that you and your fiance, which congratulations on that, by the way, that you and your fiance were able to do what you could, being that it started at the most inopportune time. Now, I will say, don't make it a habit that it's like, oh, I don't have to do anything for the week because I'm on my period. But because life still goes on, whether you're on your period or not. But definitely make it a habit to comfort this little girl each time. So good on you. Good on you for that, big brother. I can respect that. I'm feeling frustrated by constant attention seeking from my best friend's other friend. How do I handle this in a mature way so I don't stoop to his level? Okay. I'm a little confused on this one. Okay, context. We are in the UK, all approximately 16 years old, all the same year at the same school. Okay. My best friend is C. We have been getting along very well for the past 2 years, and I like to think we have fostered a very healthy and nice friendship between ourselves. C has a new friend in the past year called A, who shares a similar amount of classes with C as me. A's behavior in the short time that A and C have been friends, I know that mine and C's hasn't been that long either. Don't want to be hypocritical. Well, I mean, at 16, 2 years, pretty good amount of time. They have gotten quite close, and there is no problem in that at all. It is just A's behavior when around C that I have a problem with from my observations and need advice on how to solve/mitigate the effects of this. From my perspective, A's actions around C often come across as very clingy and attention-seeking. Some examples of his behavior are name mumbling. I sit next to him in one class where he does not sit next to C, and two where C is between us. One of his common behaviors is quietly mumbling his name to gain attention from C in a kind of drawn-out singing song voice, which feels a bit off-putting to me. This then causes C to look away from whatever he is doing or talking to because his name has been called, and then A does whatever with him. A often does this 5 to 8 times in a single 1 hour, 10-minute lesson. Okay. Complete favoritism. Dang, I mean, like, for this kid to be writing out this list like this, tabbed out, every numbered, paragraphical. I respect. The education is there. I sit next to him in physics. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Sit next to him in physics, and we had to do a task in pairs involving a question. C is sitting about 2 meters, 6.5 feet in front of us. A performs his name mumbling tactic, which doesn't work because C is actually working and doesn't hear. So his response, he withdraws from all work, leaving me to work alone, not speaking to me, and after about 5 minutes, he calls out the name of the person to the right of me twice. He is left of me, who he doesn't even really know at all, and then looks across and says hi and nothing else, and just looks awkwardly for about 10 seconds, which was strange and awkward to experience as the middle person. Killing inside jokes. Oof. Oh. Yeah, if you're not part of the inside joke, don't try to force yourself into it. As I said earlier, me and C have a great friendship, so we have loads of inside jokes between just the two of us. Because of that, Because of the abundance of them, we often use them regularly, or used to. Often, if he heard an inside joke, he would demand an explanation from C and then overuse it to killing it, which has happened to about 2 inside jokes so far. This has led to me being uncomfortable around him, preventing me from having fun with C, around C with A around. I get that. When you have those inside jokes and somebody just, hey, don't worry about it. It's none of your friggin' business, dude. Seat running. I don't know what that is. I personally just find this over the top. In cover lessons, the seating plan is often forgotten from everyone. However, A just takes it too far and practically runs over the seat next to C and basically beckons C over like a sheep or something. Mine and C's relationship outside of class. We probably spend about 50 to 75% of our after school and lunch times together, where he is much more present with me and not constantly distracted by A. So even with this source of distraction, our bond is strengthening by the day. What I've tried, to be honest, I have not done anything about it at this point. Why I'm asking here. I just really want to avoid turning it into a competition for his attention, because that's just wrong on so many levels. But I have talked to about 5 other very close friends, and they can see A's clingy behavior. Although I did genuinely talk to C about it to see what he thinks about 6 months ago, and he said he didn't really care about it. So quite a neutral position if you ask me, although he still enjoys the friendship. My main questions. 1. How can I let A know gently and subtly that his behavior is not appreciated and is coming off the wrong way? 2. How can I talk to C more thoroughly about this? What would you personally do in the situation? If you have any tips overcoming feelings of being the third wheel and out of place in this dynamic, thank you for any thoughts. I just want to keep my friendship strong with unnecessary drama. Okay, dude, first of all, dang, dude, you're 16? Wrote this out like a freaking scholar, my boy. The UK over here actually teaching their students, dude. God, I mean, like, I know there's like American kids out here that can't even write something like this while fully explaining their feelings and in a very clear and concise way. I mean, like, but a lot of our students also just don't care and aren't paying attention. So anyway, what I will say is, hi baby. What I will say is it's really tough to sit there with somebody so new and then tell your best friend of 2 years, I mean, yeah, it doesn't seem long, but at 16 years old, 2 years is a long time. That's a long time of, hanging out, doing nothing and everything like that. And I've had my friends in high school too, that it was like that, 8th grade, like we were tight, we were hanging out all the time. And then 9th grade came around, same thing. 10th grade, we started going our own separate ways where, he was hanging out with a different crowd, but we didn't fully split off and not be friends anymore. We still hung out, we still went to this, I'd go to his house for the parties and stuff, and we always had a good time. I didn't have a problem with anybody he hung out with or anybody that was around, because I was always cool with everybody, regardless of who you were or the clique that you hung around with. In this specific case, because I'm assuming you guys aren't very in with like a whole bunch of crowds, it's a little bit tougher. But this is also something that you can kind of let go. And I say this all the time because, like, a lot of the times the people that you have in high school, you don't really keep in touch with outside of high school. And that might just be like an America specific thing. I don't know how it is in the UK. The UK is very much a lot smaller than it is here. So that being said, it's like if you move to another town, it's like a 30-minute drive. Whereas like out here, a 30-minute drive is nothing. Out there, a 30-minute drive is like, that's a drive, you know? Where I'll drive an hour, 2 hours to see a buddy and spend the weekend with them. It's just, this is a tough one because you're so young. If you were an adult, I would say, you know, just go out, have a couple of beers or whatever, and talk it out or whatever. I'm thinking A is a little bit more on the clingy side because maybe C is A's only friend. And so they're excited for that friendship, you know, so they can be a little bit annoying. Um, I've noticed that a lot too when somebody has a new friend and it's their only friend, they become clingy or attention seeking as you're describing. You've been friends with this C character for a couple of years, so it's not so much of an attention seeking behavior. But I think that if you look back at to when you guys just became friends, there might have been that behavior from either one of you, right? So I don't know. Maybe if you loosen up a little bit and instead of resenting friend A, for doing this attention seeking, annoying stuff, and just kind of include a little bit more into you and C's friendship, it might loosen that attention seeking stuff up a little bit where you maybe don't see it less. Or maybe you see it less. Sorry, not don't see it less. So maybe you see it less and you end up creating like a super awesome friend group trio that you're able to go through high school with, and it's a lot easier because you do have to factor in you're going to be around that person for the next few years. But also too, you know, let it play out. I guess let it play out. Just be patient, and I know it's really hard to be patient at 16, but be patient. Let it roll. You know, just kind of roll with it and try to include A into your little friend group. If A is still kind of annoying, I'm sure it'll be seen by C. You probably get some text messages about it, but still be nice and understanding, even though you may not include him in after school, outside of school activities. Just try to be patient. I'm not saying tolerant, but patient with the individual. Plus, you know, maybe A is autistic or something. I don't know. There's so many things going on there. But yeah, it's just patience and tolerance, I guess, is the best way to put that. I'm sorry I don't have better information for you or better advice for you, but that's the only thing I can think of. I know people can be annoying sometimes. I know. And it's a struggle, but you'll be okay. You'll be all right. You'll get through it. And, you know, maybe A will build up some confidence and make some other friends outside of just you and C. So I don't know. I hope that helped, you know, whatever it is. So yeah, that'll do it. So much love.